In Singapore, to chope a seat is to claim your space with a pack of tissues. This is Chope, a series where Singaporeans gather over a meal to talk about survival, identity, and what it really means to belong in New Zealand. Nobody really asks how the men are doing. Over a Singaporean spread of chicken rice and bak kut teh, Kelvin O and Andric sit down for the conversation they didn't know they needed.
Okay. Do we need to pray first, Sonia?
Prayer.
Sonia. sorry.
Hey, I'm actually curious because right now it's fasting run, right? Do you fast with your wife?
I'm supposed to. I'm actually quite ashamed to say lah. Having been married to her for 16 years and converted for 18 years already. I never really tried fasting once, but it takes a lot of discipline that I unfortunately still don't have yet. So I'll try again maybe next year. That's why I say every year, but I feel very bad.
But you tried it before?
Yes, it's really very difficult. I mean, it's quite nice meeting another fellow Singaporean. It's always nice to meet them, although it's quite, when we leave Singapore, sometimes people say like, you meet a fellow Singaporean here, then you feel like the homie kind of feel. But there are also certain people who go, okay, I come here maybe because I want to avoid Singapore. Then why do I want to meet up with Singaporeans again? But I think sometimes, you will still feel lonely at some stage. Then when you see a familiar face or you hear a familiar accent, then you actually will go, oh, okay, that's a familiar tone.
So I think that's something that I can definitely relate to. So we were excited to move to a new place. The moment we touched down, right, I cannot speak for my partner, but I found in myself that I was actually looking forward to see other Singaporeans because the moment I landed, every face that I saw was an unfamiliar one.
Okay.
And the first thing naturally that you will link to is food. Both my partner and I are foodies, especially she. One of the first things that we'll definitely do is look for like familiar food here.
Right, okay.
And when you find that food, more often than not, you are going to find somebody of a similar culture or background to you because they are also there for that same reason. I found it really weird that in Singapore, let's say I was taking train or bus, you kind of don't really want to be disturbed. You kind of want to be on your own. Even if someone were to accidentally bump into you, you'd be like, But over here, when I see a fellow Asian, a fellow Southeast Asian, or if I hear a familiar accent like what you said in the market, I'll be like, oh, it perks my ears up and I feel a bit happy.
Okay.
And I find that it's such a weird phenomenon.
So I guess it's really how you view fellow overseas Singaporeans would be dependent on, whether is it a push factor or a pull factor for the reason why you leave Singapore to come here, right? And for me, I get lonely sometimes, like lonely because, coming here with young family, taking care of your family, spending time with them is my top priority. So friends or making friends, it becomes secondary. So you do tend to hang out only with your family.
Yeah.
So sometimes, when I go out and then I see or hear familiar accents, I feel comforted. I honestly feel that it's almost like a small little blessing when you meet fellow Singaporeans here in a land so far away, So it's very comforting.
Have you met any nasty Singaporeans here yet?
Oh yeah, I have. I wouldn't call them nasty, but I will say that they carry the certain traits that make us want to leave Singapore to come here. Because like you said, you bang into each other, then they'll be like,
yeah.
Or then sometimes they just give you unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
Especially of a certain age group. They will say, hey, 以前我们不是这样做的，以前我们不是 whatever, like, well, uncle.
Specific gender, huh?
Yeah. Or auntie. So no, I'm not trying to, nail on a particular gender, but it's just that there's a certain kind of behavior.
I get it, and I've had a similar experience or experiences to that as what you said also like from the typical Singaporean uncle/auntie generation that would do this kind of thing that you also experience back in Singapore. But it doesn't bother me as much because compared to, like, they are a 5% of my life here.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know, I don't experience that every day. I experience that once every few months that I see them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Understand.
But I do want to go back a bit, right? Because just now you said that one of the things that you had to do was you moved over here from Singapore with your family. Most of the free time you have, you would spend it with them.
Yeah.
How does your family do in that regard? Like, do you find that your wife can thrive better anywhere? Like, can she find her own group very quickly, very easily? Your kids as well?
The children, I mean, they came here when they were really quite young.
Yeah.
So being young, they are a lot more adaptable. You know, you know, you can still mold them. So by molding them, it's just like what society does to them here, right? Like they have their own friends, and and my kids they have pretty high EQ levels, so it's very easy for them to make friends. So yeah, for my kids, it was never a worry. My wife, then we eventually came here because she wanted to be here. I mean, for whatever reasons, you know.
What's the reason?
There are some bad experiences that she would like to get out from, and then we think that distance in this case is one of the more efficient methods of separation.
Right.
Putting distance between some undesirable thoughts and memories.
Situation. I
Yeah.
see. But why New Zealand then?
Because we came here a few times on holiday, and then we thought, hey, this country quite nice, eh? The temperature, you know, the weather, and you know, I like to ride bike, right? So I can come here, you know, ride the back roads, maybe go to South Island. You know, the allure like that Singapore Tourism Board also help to 打广告 lah, you know, like visit New Zealand holiday. So then we came, you know. So then we thought, hey, how about we try here? Then we thought about also, why don't we go to Australia? But Australia, a lot of poisonous things. You have snakes, then you have scorpion, spider. Imagine go to toilet 3 a.m. in the morning, then one python in your toilet bowl. I was like, 买啦，这个头挺变啦，I don't want. So then we chose New Zealand lah.
So how was the whole moving process like?
The novelty of of a move to a brand new place, you know, like then you become hopeful, but yet anxious. You don't know what's gonna happen, but it's still, you know, mostly the honeymoon period when we first got here. So first few months it was just setting up the basic infrastructure, like your phone numbers, you know, and your banking needs and all that. So the first month actually it went by in a flash up, because there were a lot of administrative things that we need to do. So there wasn't really enough time to enjoy. Then plus with kids being so young, you need to think about, you know, where you're gonna stay. And unfortunately, you know, where you're going to stay depends on where your work is going to be.
Oh.
Yeah, because when the kids came over, they still weren't school ready age yet. Preschool, yes, but not like those kind of long-term school. So it was more around where I wanted to work, you know, the sort of daily commute that we need to make. Yeah, so the first couple of months, in fact, I wanted to be in the South Islands, but I just couldn't find a job there. Yeah, so we heard stories of, you know, after the Christchurch earthquake, there's a lot of rebuilding and all that. But I don't know, I had a very hard time trying to find a job.
Just bringing a bit of my own experience. We moved here. We spent the first month getting our life together. Basically, a lot of administrative work.
Yeah.
We spent the next month fucking about. We took a drive down to South Island. So like just explore the country a little bit before life starts, because we had to remind ourselves that we are here not for a holiday, we're here for life. Right?
Wow. Okay.
It's different when you go to a country as a tourist and as a potential resident.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right. So after the trip, then I started to look for a job, because my partner, we came in via a study visa. So her job was to make sure that she completes her 1 year of school.
Okay.
And attains that visa and then exchange for another 3 more years. That was her job. My job was to make sure that I'm bringing in money so that we have food on the table.
Right.
It wasn't easy on my end looking for a job, because I basically also applied to almost anywhere. So it took me very, very long to even get any kind of response. And in fact, the first response I get wasn't even through Seek, it was just through Facebook. Just because I randomly reached out to local photographers and videographers. Yeah. I connected with them. I basically begged them for introduction, and then this person said he knows someone who is looking, and that's how I got my first job. Not even through the regular means, you know.
Yeah.
So how was your experience like?
The key word that you just said, you had to beg for a job. I essentially felt about the same. For me, I sent out 108 tailored
counted?
Yeah, I counted.
Really engineering brain, it's counting must count.
No, this is just to keep a record, you know. Yeah, keep a record so that I don't apply to the same company twice. So I don't want to I don't want to
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Because I already started applying when I was still in Singapore, haven't come over yet. So because I've heard from friends who are here, they say that finding work is quite tough. Then I thought, I cannot be you know. Singaporeans, we speak, we can communicate with them properly. I mean, then, you know, our work ethics, and we're really bloody good at what we do, so it shouldn't be a problem. Then when I come here, wow, all back. Finding a job here is probably one of the biggest challenge I ever had, because with a wife and 2 young kids, and then we have dwindling savings, and I didn't really have a lot to begin with, you know, and then the money goes down very quickly.
I hope it's not a sexist thing to say, but you can kind of feel like the entire weight of family is on your shoulders alone. I mean, I'm sure in every normal functioning family, both the husband and wife would contribute. But somehow, as the man of the family, you still kind of feel like it's your responsibility first.
Yes.
Yeah, so that puts an extra layer of stress that I don't exactly think that our partners can fully understand the gravity of it. They probably can see that we are stressed, but they don't understand how stressed. Because I think a bit of pride and ego is also baked into that.
Yeah. But in this regard, I mean, my wife and I, we did talk about this even before making the decision to come here. So we actually did decide that, you know, coming here, it will be dependent on me being the main breadwinner first. Then while she will take care of the kids, because someone has to take care of the kids. It's not like in Singapore where, you know, you can pay money and then you hire a foreign domestic, but there's no such thing here. So someone has to stay behind and look after the kids, which is a very noble thing in itself, lah.
Of course.
Yeah. So
it's a 24-hour job.
Yeah, man, bro. I tell you, it's 48 hours, man. Yeah, really. So that's why I tell you, women they're made. They're really engineered different from men. We'll come to that later. So anyway, back to the question. I don't want to digress too much. So we already sort of decided that I'll be the one going out to look out for work first. So that inherently did cause quite a bit of stress, because I know that the entire village is dependent on me, right? And yet I thought that, you know, it'll be quite easy to find a job, but it's actually really very difficult. So out of all the job applications, I only had one interview, and I was quite lucky that I.
So that's the one that you got it as well.
Yeah.
So sent out 108 resumes, got one interview, but also lucky enough that the one interview turned into an actual job.
Yes.
Which you're holding until now.
Yes. Actually, sometimes quietly, I also think that I a bit hinkongkeng. Because I was doing a particular the thing that I do in construction is actually very niche. So only certain companies that, you know, that they subscribe to this kind of method, then they will need people like me. So it turns out that, you know, long story short, it turns out that the job that I found here in New Zealand, I'm doing the exact same thing. But the transition in terms of work scope, job scope, is actually pretty smooth, because I was already, you know, well versed in the things that I do. Actually, the darkest period in my adult life was when I started work, being the first Asian in that company. That was the one that made me, that contributed to one of those low points in my life. When I was just 3 days into the job, one co-worker, he looked at me and said, "Oh, So you're the token Asian that they hired.
Fucked up.
I don't know what compelled him to say that, but yeah, it wasn't nice. So that was incident number one.
How did you deal with it? Like, once he said it to you, to your face, I assume?
Yeah, to my face.
How did you deal with it?
Now that I think back, I should have said more, but because, I couldn't because I was in fear of not fitting in, because they could always spin it around and say that, hey mate, why you can't take a joke? That was incident number one. So incident number two, because eating out in New Zealand, right, very expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
So I tapao bread with egg mayo sandwich. My wife made for me
Yeah.
the night before.
Yeah.
So I was having it.
The one does have a smell, yes. I
Yeah.
can see where it's going.
No, it's not about smell.
Oh, not a smell? Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So I was just sitting at my desk, because number one, I don't really know a lot of people,
Right.
my co-workers and all that.
You were new.
Yeah, I was new. So there was this senior member of the team.
White person.
So he came over, and I had 2 pieces of bread, right?
Right.
I eat 2 triangles. So 1 triangle on the table. Yeah, this one true story, bro. He walked up and said, "Ooh, bread," and he put his finger into my bread and did that, even though it had the cling wrap.
So he jabbed his finger into your bread that was thankfully still cling wrapped.
Yeah, that I wasn't eating. It was just put there.
Why did he do that?
No idea. So that's why I thought, like, wow, actually 林北是死北杜兰 already 咧，真的是咁破杜兰咧。
Yeah.
But
Of course.
But I suck it up.
Yeah.
Why? Because number one, I'm new. Number two, it's just like, I don't want to be seen as making a mountain out of a molehill lah.
Yeah.
But 这个我想都等哈，哇，蓝褐小破口 I tell you, I'm really very angry.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Wait, I have a very important question. Did you eat the bread?
no, I didn't.
No. Okay.
Oh.
So you threw it away.
Yeah, okay.
Which is an extra thing that really pisses you off because your wife went through the effort of making it.
I don't want to, sort of label him as a racist or not, but clearly what he did was very unkind. It's not about race, It's like a person with a bloody drop of common sense, of humanity, wouldn't do it.
Yeah. He clearly doesn't see you as an equal.
Yeah.
He clearly sees you as someone of a lower register. That's why he thinks that it's funny to do this kind of thing to you, but he's not considering your feelings, clearly.
So the struggles of being a minority, like the first yellow dude in white community at work, was a start of should I say the downward trend of my own mental health lah. And then
So at that point when he jabbed his finger into your bread, did you really feel like standing up and punching him or something?
Yes. Yes.
But you held back.
yes,
And that's something similar that I face with my own partner as well. Because with my own character, in Singapore, I ran my own business. Very small business. I only had like 2 people or 3 people with me. Very, very small. But enough to make us live relatively comfortably in Singapore.
yeah.
So I think I also developed an entitled sense of like, hey, I'm a tauke, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I was used to calling the shots in Singapore. Because of that mentality of running business, I became I wasn't afraid of confrontation.
Oh, okay.
Back in Singapore, when clients say stupid shit to me, I'll say back to them. I literally told a client, fuck off.
Oh, okay.
Like in those exact words.
Wow.
Without the fear of losing this client.
Wow,
Because my mentality is, I lose you as a client, I have time freed up, other clients will come in. I'm not scared.
And you
I'm
maintain
not
your
afraid.
尊严also,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm not afraid not having you as a client.
Okay.
In fact, you need me more than I need you. That was my entire mentality. But even before coming here, my partner kept reminding me, right, once we move to this new country, doesn't matter what it is, don't get into confrontations. No matter what happens, don't react in a violent way, because that puts everyone at risk. Because we also brought our 2 dogs here, right? If I were to ever get into any kind of physical or even verbal altercation with anybody, they can easily revoke our visa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was something I also struggled with. Not saying that I had a lot of situations like that when I came, but it was something that I had to remind myself every day, especially for the first few months. Like anything that I see that happen, I cannot react. There was once, this one also true story. Actually, I have no idea why we have to disclose it's a true story. Everything we say is true. Not like I will lie to you, right? Yeah. Anyway, when we were staying in our previous place and we were just walking the dogs, and then there were a couple of white kids. I don't know if their skin color matters, but it was just an observation, right?
But they're white already, or you say they're white kids?
Sure. No, but because what I'm about to say, I don't want their actions to reflect on the entire community.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
They just happen to be white. Sure.
Okay.
So we were walking our dogs, and kids, as what kids do, they play after school. They were on their scooters or bicycles or whatever, and they were going up and down the street. At that point in time, there wasn't a lot of cars, so it was quite safe.
Okay.
As we were walking, all of a sudden, I heard this kid turn and shout a racist remark at us.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to say it on camera.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
But I'm sad to say I also reacted because just instinct lah.
Yeah.
I forgot what I said.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I said CB.
Oh, but they probably
Not like you will understand what
okay,
it
they'll
means.
understand what it is.
But I reacted.
Yeah.
And I was scared after that because what if they went back home and complained to their parents? Then we are at fault. Because no matter what, their parents can easily say yes, but they are kids.
Yep.
Then we are in the fault already, you know.
Yeah, that will be seen like
So yeah, that's just a very long-winded way of saying we have to hold back ourselves just because we're in a different country.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it is a natural progression for people when you go. Okay, let's say you go to your friend's house, and the friend's dog disturb you, and you want to scold the dog, but you also must see your friend 嘛，打狗也是要看主人嘛。So at the end of the day, so when we go to another country, it is almost normal that we need to follow the laws of the land.
Yeah,
right?
we follow their culture, yeah.
Yes, we follow their culture as much as we can because we're trying to integrate, right?
Yeah.
But does that mean that, like hearing from your story and mine, does it make us lose our identity? No. I mean, sometimes I struggle with it, you know. What if that day I stood up and then punched that mofo?
Yeah, but that's the difference, right? You standing up punching somebody is not your identity. It's a reaction based off of your character.
Oh,
跟 identity 没有关系的, I feel.
Oh.
I was at my job. It was so I shot real estate in Singapore. I had a very decent portfolio of real estate, so it's wasn't too hard for me to secure a job here as long as I was connected to the right person. So I went for my first few real estate shoots. I think there was a second one if I'm not wrong. 100% of the real estate shoots here in New Zealand would require usage of a drone as well because there's not much apartments here. Most of them are houses, and if you sell the house, you want to sell the view, you want to sell the neighborhood, so therefore drone. I wasn't sure and I wasn't aware that you were also supposed to apply for drone permits here, and my boss also, not saying that he chose not to tell me, but it didn't cross his mind because there are so many things to do as well, right? So going through the training, he also didn't tell me that that was something that we had to do. While flying the drone, after I was done, this random neighbor came to the house and started scolding me. Also white guy.
Okay.
And he started scolding. He asked if we have a drone permit, if we have a drone license. He's asking to see all of it. Obviously, I know that we don't have, but I didn't want to react. So I held back and I said, I'm just a worker. You talk to my boss.
Okay.
When I tried to go and get him, he verbally held me back.
Okay.
And said that, oh, so you clearly don't have a drone permit then. I'm going to report you. You can say goodbye to your visa. Something like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He said that to me. To this day, I still enjoy saying this story now, especially to my other white friends and my other white clients and all that. Because then I will see their reaction of, how can this guy be such an asshole? Which I'm happy to see that there are people who
don't condone that kind of behavior.
Yeah, like the idiots are really still the minority. Yeah.
Because that's blatant bullying.
It is.
Yeah. Back to the thing about, what are challenges working here was that I had to take quite a lot of steps back at work. It was in itself a very stressful thing really. Because 隆重kaki zo, everything from start to finish, I got to do it myself. My regular work hours it's about from 7 in the morning to between 1 to 3 a.m.
Huh? 7 to 3?
Call it 7 to 1 a.m. 7 a.m. to 1 a.m.
That's a 19-hour workday.
Because what I wanted to be was not seen as someone who's incompetent.
Right.
So in order to do that, right, I had to piana. But it was easy for me because I think for Singaporeans like us, right, it's easier for us to speed up than to slow down. Yeah, right. Eventually, and then COVID came around. The world stopped.
You were here during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, I got here in 2018, and then when it's COVID, right, the lines between your regular work hours and your non-work hours are really blurred, right? Yeah. And then I end up working like really up until stupid o'clock. It was really quite difficult.
Stupid o'clock. I'm gonna steal that.
So with that, plus maybe the stress that I give myself because I needed to prove myself every single second of my life, working life. I need to prove to somebody that actually I'm a good hire. And that I see this as probably it's an Asian thing. It's a gratitude. You want to show gratitude.
I think it's partly an Asian thing, also partly an immigrant thing, that you feel that you are in a different country where things are not exactly on your side. You feel even more a stronger need to prove yourself.
Yeah, because there is more to lose. And in my case, it's the wife and kids. Actually, there was a point in time where the wife and I, we sat down. We talked about like I want to, I go home to Singapore to work.
So you wanted to give up?
Yeah, I would. Back then, I come up with all these stupid excuses. I try to justify. I go back to Singapore. My previous job, the boss is willing to keep the position for me, and then it's better. Blah blah blah. I can pull in more money, and then they stay here and study and all that. So funnily, I sat down with the wife and talked about it, and she said, "Okay." I proceeded to sell one car. And I sold the motorcycle. I was ready to go back to Singapore. But thank God I didn't. Because 哪一个监狱比较大? So if I stayed here, I can say that, it's a prison, quote unquote. Because of work and all the stress of being an immigrant, being a father, being a husband, being a worker, being a whatever, And then if I were to go back to Singapore, and then my wife and kids are here, and then I'll miss out on the special times of their most of their young lives. So I'm thinking which one is a prison? Which one's a bigger prison? Is it in Singapore or is it in here? And then luckily or not luckily, my grandma passed away, but it's a blessing. It's bless her soul. She's got a good run. I think 90 years old. So she passed away.
It's a healthy way of looking at it.
Yeah. She passed away.
But the context must come faster.
So I went back for a week to for her funeral. But I used that time to go and say my final goodbyes and closures to all my friends, to my previous boss, and then I came back different. So when I came back, then I decided to look. Running away wasn't the solution. Shit still smells the same depending on which underwear is on. Correct or not? So I shouldn't say this because we're eating. But
no, it's not eating. It's just that having the mental image of the examples that you're giving. I get where you're coming from, but it's very graphic. But okay. Please carry on.
But what I'm trying to say is challenges and stress everywhere.
You are the modern day poet. Yes, there are challenges everywhere. So would you say that you had a change of heart? Was it because you feel like you didn't have closure before you came for the first time?
Yes, because
you haven't fully accepted that you're coming.
Yes. So I thought like come here, everything you need to do. But also to give you a bit of context, in Singapore, right? I mean it's maybe common culture. Men are supposed to be the ones going out to work, while the other significant partner, half, is doing the homemaking, taking care of the children.
That is the traditional thinking.
That's traditional thinking. So, but my wife was nothing like that. So in Singapore, she actually earned more than me monthly. So she had to work, and logistics are being taken care of. My mom-in-law, my mom would come and look after the kids while both of us were working and all that. So with that, I came over. Then she had to give up her job, right? Because someone has to look after the kids.
Right.
So I felt like, wow, a little bit like the money not enough.
The sacrifice was too big.
Yeah. So that also added to the stress. Like,
of course.
I have to work from the bottom, and then I see the monthly salary I receive. Then I see the rent. Initially, I see the rent $840. Oh, per month, okay, deal per week, Wow, so I count. Wow, very, very difficult. So, a lot of this.
And you also haven't mentioned that how the GST here is so expensive.
Yeah, how many? 15%.
I have no idea, but it's very expensive.
Yeah,
I can send out an invoice for 4,000 plus. I get back 3,000 plus only.
Yeah.
Then I see that drop in the number drop in the first one.
Brother, 賣講 GST， 你講 income tax 就好。OK 啦，咪講啦，講了激心嘛。So anyway,
cannot say also because we want NZ to sponsor us someday.
So anyway, that was the first sort of mental issues that I had. But I'm very happy that that we actually, me and the missus actually had a good talk after that. But let's just say that if I really went off back to Singapore, the marriage no more already. Definitely one. So I dodged the bullet lah. Thank you, Amma.
You made the right choice lah.
And also, I found out that one of the bigger contributors to the stress was trying to be validated at work. So having changed the company for today is actually my 3rd year anniversary in this new company.
Congrats.
Yeah, so thank you. So it is I'm quite happy to share that that the sort of different kind of the things I used to feel before. Thankfully it hasn't happened, and it probably wouldn't, because my company has a lot of different cultures in there. So maybe they are accustomed to the immigrant sort of a label.
And just a bit of a side note, I think that's such a lucky thing for people like us to experience, that at our age, if we were still in Singapore and
so now we are about the same age.
Yes, not about the same age. So at our age, or at least our generation, once we hit a certain point in our careers, if we were in Singapore, we just kind of plateau all the way until we hit retirement. There's no more growth, there's no more learning new things, there's no more new experience, there's no more learning new stuff. But because you are physically here now, your working environment is already vastly different from your peers in Singapore. You don't just work with Singaporeans if you're in Singapore. You're working with a plethora of different ethnicities.
Yeah,
right?
fair.
With predominantly white superiors, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to see the growth in yourself, as you have just as you have just eloquently put.
Yeah, so that was a very long running topic, but thankfully for the past year and a bit, I rarely had to think about these things already. So which is quite good. Like you say, the opportunity for growth is good. Growth in the sense that like I now have to grow up and deal with this kind of things called life. Because to me, last time life was what? Go and meet my friend Latte at the roti prata shop, 24-hour shop. Meet at 10 o'clock at night, sit until 4 a.m. in the morning, go back, sleep for 2 hours, then go and work. Right back there, you go East Coast, go and see Papo, whatever, Changi. Right back, of course, right back, I cannot get down, so only go and see only. People ask me, what do I miss about Singapore? Do you miss your family back home in Singapore? Do you miss your friends? What do you miss? So to me, actually, the thing that I miss most is the ability to call my friend, message, text, and then within 15 minutes they reply on, let's go. Lim te. It's the kind of things that I really miss, because here after 5 p.m. long zhong sao dong, then you do what? Go home. Nothing to do. Then after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, everybody prepare to go and sleep. Imagine I start my motor, you go and throw something again. No lah, you wouldn't lah. I did that before. It's quite okay. So I'm just saying that the lack of this call it social infrastructure, in the sense of kopitiam, the concept of kopitiam, the lack of one here is one that makes me feel a bit lonely. But I miss about Singapore. So I don't know about you, but I like to tell kopitiam one.
I think I miss that as well. I can relate to what you're saying, because I also do have like one friend, and we usually hang out at his office, because his office is also kind of like our playground, which is funny because he actually calls his office playground.
Oh, okay.
I do miss that, like the ability to meet whomever you want almost whenever you want, and everything is kind of at your fingertips. Don't even say friends, right? You want food in the middle of the night, 12 a.m. You're feeling hungry, just open your app, order something, and it will arrive no matter what time you order it, assuming that the store is still open, of course. And you won't be paying exorbitant prices. So I do miss all these conveniences. But I think being here for 1.5 years, it has also taught me to, on one hand, you can see it as teaching me. On the other hand, it's like you are forced to do it anyway. You're forced to learn, especially when everything has been stripped away, where you kind of just follow the culture. When shops here close at 5, you plan before that. Right? You make sure that you already have dinner ready, you already have breakfast ready, just so that you don't have to panic buy at the very last second. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do miss that in Singapore, but I don't miss it that much.
Okay. So for me, losing a part of my life in Singapore, this friendship side of things, was one that makes me a little bit upset now. So I don't know, but how do you have any like local friends or Kiwi friends or?
Not much. Truthfully, a lot of my friends in Singapore were my partner's friends. I'm not very good at making friends myself.
Okay.
I think I have this very toxic trait of the moment I get closer with someone, I have expectations of them, and when they don't meet the expectation, I tend to pull away.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of my friends end up start from my partner's friends. And even that, as time goes on, it dwindles down because of my toxic expectations. When I came here, and after spending 1.5 years here, I'm trying to think hard, right? If I have made any local, by local I mean like not Singaporean that I've met here. Like,
okay,
so
yeah.
You excluded. Not any local Kiwi friends or white friends, I guess, but they are mostly from work. Okay. And I still do try to keep that work distance. Because I believe that for adults after a certain age, there's always an agenda.
Okay.
And if we are in the same company and we are in a very subtle way competitors, there will always be that little agenda that I feel like I cannot fully trust. After being here for 1.5 years, comparing my social circle to my partners, I do have to say, and she also often teases me about it, that I know more white people than she does. Yeah.
Okay, so your friends are is predominantly from work, from a work setting.
Yeah. I mean, there are colleagues that I work with that I can consider them friends. There are clients that I work with that are genuinely very, very nice to me.
Okay,
nicer than some of my clients in Singapore as well. So I really cannot say that I have a lot of friends here, someone that I can truly be a bro or call it sis with. But I think on that level of a social aspect, the biggest change I see in myself in the last 1.5 years, right? You know, like how I hearken back then in Singapore when we were on the train or the bus, and because there's so many Singaporeans, you bump into someone, you will just, like, fuck, like don't touch me, I want to be in my own world. But now I find myself, right, talking to strangers. Just the other day, me and my partner and our housemate, we went to a food market. I'm smiling at strangers. They will say hi to me, I will say hi back, and I genuinely mean hi, how are you? We bought food, we sat down at a communal table, and there were like 3 old white ladies in front of me. And this lady smiled at me, I smiled back at her. I wasn't eating yet because my housemate was eating, so I was free, right? She smiled at me, I smiled at her, I asked, what are you eating?
Oh, she asked you what were you eating?
I asked her what was she eating.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
And then we just we started a conversation just like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And after it ended, then I'm like, who am I?
Oh, okay. Makes you second guess because you will never like that in Singapore.
It's something that I'll never do in Singapore. I will not go up to a stranger and, what are you eating? You know? I will get shunned.
That's true. Now I think about it, what are you eating was not a business.
But culturally, over here, this is what's normal. Like literally strangers striking up a conversation with another stranger in the coffee shop when you're in talking distance. One of my favorite coffee places to go now, near where I stay, I would go there and order coffee and wait for my coffee, and I'll stand and wait, right? I would observe the people around, and recently I saw like there are two tables, a couple and then another couple, and they were sitting so close to each other, right? When they are sitting within earshot.
Okay.
So when the next table talk, you can hear. And I actually observed them talking to each other. And then the woman overheard what the other woman was saying, and she reacted, "Yeah, I have the experience too." And the four of them started talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was very interesting. Like, at least that's the social aspect difference I see in myself after spending 1.5 years here.
Would you see that as an improvement?
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually do think. I think because I'm like that now, I find myself genuinely happy when I'm out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not 反感. I'm not sure how to say that in English. I'm not 反感 to see strangers.
Not turn off by strangers.
Yeah. And not saying that it's a Singaporean problem, but I think culturally, growing up in Singapore, we are taught to
Mind our own business.
mind our own business.
Yeah.
So it's just not what we do to talk to strangers back in Singapore. I cannot speak for the younger generation now. Maybe they are a lot more friendly than we are, but it's not our case.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Even back in Singapore, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot, but to me, our friends, I mean those like 死党, like those 20, known them for 20, 15, 20, 25 years kind of. Yeah, those I don't have a lot of those kind of acquaintances. So but I had enough to make me miss them, because here in New Zealand I find that it was very, very, very hard to make friends, because I had I should say because I wanted to fit in, I wanted to feel like I belong when I first came here, especially in a work setting, because work is the first place that I end up regularly, meaning every day I need to go to work, right? So I tried to be one of those, or join the clique, one of those kind of band member, you know. So I tried to be a little bit more friendly with people at work. This is my previous company. So it was a mistake, because I started to share with them deeper things, like my more personal stuff, but it sort of backfired at me when I wanted to leave that company. So that was probably one of the bad experiences that I have trying to make
a genuine connection.
Yeah, with local people.
That is something that literally, when I first came, one of the first friends that I made said that to me. I have this friend that I do want to give a shout out to. She's a Kiwi Filipino. She's called Yen. She's one of the first people that I made friends with here, because I wanted to make more connections as a videographer, right? So I reached out to local photographers, and she was the only one that responded. We met up and she gave me a job.
Oh, okay.
She brought me along to one of her shoots. While chatting with her, she said this one thing to me that I will never forget in my life. The locals here, they are friendly until you want to be friends. Being friendly and being friends are two different things.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And it's not something that I've ever understood or even thought about, right? Like, for most Singaporeans, being friendly equals being friends lah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like what's so complicated, right?
If I'm friendly with you, we are friends already.
Yeah.
If I'm not friendly with you, well, we're not friends.
Yeah, it's
Right? There's no midway.
Yeah.
But I thought what she said had a lot of depth and had a lot of layers to it.
Because I think Kiwis, right, they are still rather cliquish. So, you know, like they have their own sort of clan. Then if another villager from another clan, you know, want to join them, it's actually quite difficult. That's what I found.
I mean, it's not their fault, right? Because most adults now at our age have already grown up with their own circle of friends. So all of a sudden, adding somebody new is not an easy thing to do. They much rather stick to something that is within their comfort zone. So they stick to friends that they've already known for years and years and years. But for people like us who are immigrants, who usually move at the age of 20, 30, maybe some even 40s, it's not easy for people our age to make friends in a foreign place.
Yeah, okay. And I think part of it is because, I don't know about you, but for me, a friend would be someone whom you will talk tool with your, with the challenges, with things that maybe guys don't talk to guys about. And to me, maybe a friend. I mean, there's also a special shout out I want to give to one friend. He's also an immigrant, but he's been here for about 10ish years. So his name is Tristan Williams. So I call him Dr. Williams because he has a PhD. So he's probably my smartest friend now, or one of the friends who's the smartest. I see he's a very special person to me because I can actually talk about vulnerable things to him. So a friend to me is someone whom I can talk about such things. So when I was going through my downs here in New Zealand, I would get on a video call with two of my friends in Singapore, whom I'm very, very, very close with. I buay paiseh say that they are my best friend now, but I don't know if I'm their best friend or not. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, doesn't matter because this is what a friend is to me, where I can talk about vulnerable things. Do you have a friend like this to talk about difficult things, or do you talk to your partner?
Fortunately, I do have one friend back in Singapore that I can talk about things like this. And I'm also fortunate enough that I have a partner to also share this kind of things with. But I do have to admit, some of the things don't overlap. So there are certain things I will only share with my partner. Like I won't get my friend's opinion because I know he's not gonna give me what I'm looking for, and vice versa. There are some things that I would speak to my guy friend because I need a guy's perspective.
Oh, okay. I'm a little bit different in this regard. I normally, if I want to really talk about my deepest things, I probably won't talk to my wife.
Why not?
Not because I don't expect her to understand from where I'm coming from. It's because she also has her own challenges, being in the case being a mother, having to work, having to study, having to take care her part of supporting the family. She already has a lot on her mind already. So one of the reasons why is
you don't want to add on to her burden.
Is that I don't want to add on to her burden. Number one, and number two is like I said previously, the mental resilience is different intrinsically between hers and mine. So I probably wouldn't want to get the sort of comfort that I want, that I need. So that's why I rely a lot on friends. So
that you won't get the sayang you need.
I don't tell her things to be sayanged.
Oh, I 100% tell my partner things to be sayang.
Yeah. I ask questions. I tell people things to get almost like an agreement. Like, hey, bro, I understand what you're going through. It's okay. Bro, I got your back. So these are the kind of thing that.
So it's validation.
It's not validation. It's support. Support.
Okay.
Just to be on my side to say that the way you think like that is correct. But anyway, that's a minor part. The main part is that she already has got her own shit to deal with. Yeah. But I mean, if I can deal with it, it's not become an emergency level yet. Then, I mean, of course, very, very important emergency level stuff. I still need to talk to her lah. Yeah. So for me, making friends, I have that one friend whom I'm really deeply appreciative about because I had more low times in recent years, especially the situation with work and my previous company, and then with the neighbor and with all the other sort of crap that I go through. Yeah. So in regards to that, friends in New Zealand, I don't really have a lot, but I'm trying to make some, and hopefully it's through my sort of little hobby, which is motorcycling. Go and find a few like-minded people. But sometimes I find it quite hard because of time. My time management is still quite bad because I can only have weekends to go out, but sometimes weekend I choose to stay at home and do things around. So it takes a really quite a bit of effort and time planning, but unfortunately I don't have it right now, but I'm working to it to make more friends. But these kind of friends, when I get to know through a hobby, I will just be a bit careful because like I don't want to overshare and then become one of those needy boys. Okay.
Maybe just see it as a level where don't share unsolicited stuff. Like if they never ask for it, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But of course, if you say if they actually ask for it, if they initiated a heart-to-heart talk, but then behind your back you go and share your story to everyone else, of course, then that's the asshole.
Yeah. But these are things that you never know. You cannot. So I will try to err on the side of caution. So if it's shallow, I just keep it shallow for now. Like you say, they will just be friendly until they really want to become friends.
I guess I get where you're coming from, and I also agree. Now I kind of wait for them to make the first move. Like, we can be friendly, that's on a cordial surface level. But if you want to be friends, I'll see if you make the first move first, then I will decide if I want to invest or not.
But chances are, I tell you, you wait for friends, you wait for them to want to be friends with you, it's just waiting for interest rates to come down. You probably need to wait very long. I mean, that's the way I see it.
It is.
But I mean, hope is a good thing. But for me, I don't know. If you want to be my friend, then you be my friend. If you don't want to be my friend, then
I totally get it. It's the ride or die mentality.
Yeah.
That's why I am very thankful that because of my partner's love for food, she has then gotten closer with your partner, and then the two of us have become friends. And fortunately, the two of us share the same type of humor.
Dry humor.
And the same type of music. And I do think that right now our friendship, even though it's still at the starting stage, it's so far quite genuine. There's no agenda or anything like that. Yes, you guys have skills. Yes, I have skills, but I don't feel like we are taking advantage of each other.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. So I also fully agree that food is one of the key things that brings joy and comfort to me. Because like for my wife, through her I also get to know more people, Angmo or Singapore lang, or whatever. It just makes us feel less lonely.
I have an interesting question for you. So now that you've been here since 2018, right? That's a good 8 years. Comparatively, what do you think of Singaporeans versus Kiwis? Like maybe let's just say in terms of working culture.
Working culture. I think Singaporeans, they do things with a mission.
Okay.
Yeah, that means before they start to do something, however big or small that task is, they already have an objective. So they are very strict. They are very by the book. They are very procedural. Whereas compared to Kiwis, the local people, I'm sure you've heard of this phrase, we'll wing it. We'll wing it till we make it.
Oh my God.
So I think they are a lot more flexible, or they think that they are flexible. But so that's the main difference between Singaporean person working here as compared to a local person. So what I'm trying to say is definitely Singaporeans are a lot more efficient. So for them is, as long as I get my things done, you don't need to care about how I do it.
Yeah.
So I think this is the biggest difference. But maybe for us it's because we are always very cognizant of the things on our plate, like our wife, our kids, our family, and whatever. But for them, maybe it's the Western culture is just different. Just live life, enjoy first, YOLO, maybe.
I mean, I also want to kind of like bring it back a bit, just so that we clarify out in the open, where when you say that Singaporeans are not efficient, that's not necessarily say a bad thing. Not saying that comparatively Singapore efficiency equals white people or Kiwis are inefficient.
It's not.
We're not saying that at all.
Yeah, we're not. Definitely not.
Just saying that in the environment that we grew up with, we are forced to perform.
Yes, we have to.
And if we don't, we get left behind.
Correct.
Whilst in my own experience as well, I think it's good that as Singaporeans who move to a country like New Zealand, we bring our efficiency, work ethic here. It is not the right climate to do so.
Yeah. So it also circles back to the point earlier we said, for us it's a lot easier to speed up
than to slow down.
That was what I see. Yeah.
In my own experience, right, before I moved here, my own partner can attest to this. I was worried about a lot of things. I was worried that what if we get racially profiled? Would I be able to work in a predominantly white company where I'm literally the minority? Would I not be able to perform? That was one of my earlier worries. And because even living in Singapore, majority of the population is Asians. You see the occasional white person every now and then.
Yeah.
But because they are like the rare Pokemon, right? I don't know about you, but if I ever get a chance to speak to a white person in Singapore, I feel low-key intimidated. Like this person feels like an expat hire because they are clearly well valued by our local government.
So I ask you the same question now. After being here for a year and a half, what do you think?
So that's what I'm leading up to. Before I came, I am intimidated by the typical white person. Now that I've been here for a year and a half and have worked with a lot of white clients, that sense of intimidation has gone.
And they're actually normal, right? It's our perception of them being a cut above us.
Let's just put it that way. I've spent 35 years in Singapore. I've spent 1.5 years in New Zealand. The amount of people I've met here with ADHD has far exceeded the people I've met in Singapore with ADHD.
Perceived ADHD or actual ADHD?
That's what I'm not sure about. So the thing is, me making that statement, I don't want to make light of people with that diagnosis. ADHD is something that is on the spectrum, and if untreated or if severe, is not a joking matter. But I do notice that there are people who self-proclaim ADHD and justify their bad behavior with it.
Oh, but then again, this is one thing. If it's really, I mean, unfortunately, if they hide behind the mask of this term ADHD purposely, then yeah, it's quite sad to know that. But it's just one of those things where you can't really prove it, right? Like
You cannot prove.
yeah. So
People who are genuinely diagnosed with ADHD and dealing with it emotionally, mentally, or even in worser case situations with medications, I feel for them and I'm sorry what they're going through. But I also have witnessed people who are not diagnosed. They self-proclaim that they have ADHD.
okay.
And when they have bad behavior, like, oh, I forgot to bring this. Oh, it's my ADHD brain. Don't blame it on your ADHD. It's you.
Oh,
know what I mean?
Okay.
It almost feels like it's a badge of honor
Oh, okay.
that they're wearing ADHD as a badge of honor. And I think that makes light of the people who actually have that diagnosis. It harkens back to, I'm not sure if you are familiar with this thing, but many years ago back in Singapore, at least that's what we went through, when the movie Finding Nemo first came out.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most popular characters on Finding Nemo is this blue fish called Dory.
Yeah,
And in the show,
her,
Dory
yeah.
has short-term memory.
Yeah.
Or Singaporeans would like to abbreviate and call it STM.
Oh,
Literally, after that movie came out, for the next few months in my school, I start hearing 50% of the population, oh, I have STM. So without that movie, nobody had it.
Oh. but maybe it's just one of those cultural thing, those kind of
So that is what I mean. There are people actually with a memory problem. There is an actual like health thing.
Okay.
But because something like that comes out and it's cute and it's trendy, people,
So it's downplayed, nah.
they take it upon themselves and they wear a ailment as a badge of honor.
Oh, okay.
And they use it to justify bad behavior.
Oh, okay.
So
they
my
see
problem is
okay.
take some responsibility.
Okay, they see it as like a get out of jail free card lah.
I guess so.
Back home in Singapore, now that you mentioned ADHD, I mean, I call it like a behavioral thing, like a mental thing. I mean, I don't know. Disclaimer: I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a mental health care worker and all that. So that's disclaimer. Huh? So it's just that ADHD. I don't know. To me, maybe it's like one of those behavioral thing, or it could be a psychological thing. I don't know. But being here, I do see it in news. I do see it in print and all that. Like mental health is a big thing. Print, like
in prints.
Yeah, in print.
Oh,
like,
sorry.
Like magazines or newspapers or those kind of online news article. Mental health really is something that they do give a shit for mental health here in New Zealand, which I think is good because mental health is just something where you can see someone along the street. That person might be going through a very, very dark time, but you just don't know because there's a thing about mental health side of things. Right? I don't want to go into specifics, but it is. I'm not saying it's celebrated here, but it's just that
It's
they
not
are a bit more
celebrated.
aware.
It's just a
They're
more open
aware.
topic.
Yeah.
People are not afraid to talk about it. Unlike us, we, at least for our generation, we suppress it.
Yeah. So this is one thing I like about New Zealand being here is that you can have issues of the mind and you don't need to be afraid to say it up. That's one thing I really like about here because in Singapore, what do? here's a concrete pill. You know, take it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Before or after food, doesn't matter. You know, this is that kind of thing, right? Like, semi-mental health. Imagine you go and tell your boss,
I need a mental health
I need a
day."
mental health day. He said, then I let you go there, who do my work? I do myself. No, it's also a way of suppression. Like, people become scared to say that, oh, I'm under a lot of stress. Not saying that I got a mental health problem. Even I'm not expecting them to say, oh boss, what takak tempo pie. So can I take a day? No, it's not that, but it's just that, boss, I'm under quite a bit of stress. Even this thing they don't dare to say. I mean, that was about 8 years ago, 10 years ago when I was there, but it is also quite encouraging to see news. Sometimes right, like in the toilet pangsai or what, then you take out Channel News Asia, then you read. Then you start to read about things like,
Why all your example all shit related one?
No.
Shit on the underwear, shit in the toilet.
No, I'm just thinking, when would I read the news? That it just happened to be
Okay,
there.
okay.
There's a lot more openness in mental health.
And less judgment.
Yes, and less judgment. I think the problem is judgment. People, it's common human behavior to fear judgment.
Of course.
Who likes to be judged, right?
Of course.
So it is good because I think suicide rates recently in Singapore is also on the rise. So it's really very good that the government is doing a lot more in the mental health space.
So while everything you said is true and I 100% agree, I think it's also important for people, not just Singaporeans, not just Kiwis, but just everyone in general who is possibly struggling with mental health, to know that there is a fine line between acknowledging that you have a mental health issue or you need a mental health day, between abusing
Yes.
what is socially now acceptable.
Yes.
Right. So, sure, at times at work, you might feel like, okay, you know what, this is too much. I'm feeling a burnout. I need one day for myself. And if it doesn't happen too often, sure, take all the time you need. But if it starts becoming a pattern, to the point that you just start to, again, using it to justify your bad behavior. I'm so stressed. I'm moving house. I just had a kid. It's kind of things, kind of like very specific things.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And then you don't show up at work, or you don't show up for your responsibilities. That's why I think you are having a problem and you're abusing the system really.
Okay, so you're talking about genuine cases versus cases of
Yes.
alleged abuse.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean it's also very common in being a human, right? These things are very low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit because it's very hard to prove. I tell you,
Talking.
talking. Yeah, I mean at the end of the day, maybe they have some other darker. I mean, I'm not trying to side with them or trying to justify or what, but maybe they are just going through something even more intensely difficult. And they find it that it's just easy to pin it on a simple subject like mental health. I don't know. So previously when I was in Singapore, I hear things like mental health and all this. I laugh, like, what the hell is this? Why is this even a thing? Why, you weak? But when I come here, I'm really weak. I mean, it was made known to me lah. But
By
taxes, mortgage, children's school hours between 9 and 3, those kind of stupid time where you don't need to work. They assume that the parents don't need to work 9 to 3. And then what? And then crazy neighbors lah. And what shit traffic you turn out only jam.
yeah.
And so it's all those things, but actually in Singapore also have. But it's just that in Singapore, I had a way to 逃亏, to 喘气. That means going out with friends or whatever, stress. But here, don't have. Yeah, so I mean, it is double-edged sword lah. Like, come here and get trained properly. So next time can take on a bit more stress.
It's like what you said just now earlier, right? Like there is stress everywhere. It's just how you deal with it.
Yeah. So you said that you have been here a year and a half. And you spent 35 years in Singapore. Spent a year and a half here. So have you found out about yourself during your time here? Has anything changed in you?
I think after being here for 1.5 years, I'm a lot more chill. I feel a lot more chill. less 忙张 compared to when I was in Singapore. Because again, in Singapore, I own my own business, so I was responsible for not only my life, but my employees as well. I was a lot more tense, and definitely like, if you're a stranger, don't kind of fucking talk to me. You know?
Okay.
But over here, as I shared earlier, I'm happy to talk to strangers. I'm genuinely happy to talk to strangers now. It doesn't freak me out as long as they are also being normal and not weirdos. I find myself enjoying outdoor activities a lot more. A huge factor of that because the weather is great. You don't really sweat and you feel disgusting after that.
Fair enough.
We'll go hiking. I have found joy in something that I never thought I would, which
exercising,
is
basically exercising.
no, which is cars.
Oh, cars. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say exercising because that was me.
The only exercise I do is competitive eating.
I thought you were going to say breathing.
I found joy in something that I would never see myself finding joy in, which is cars. Because cars are so expensive in Singapore. It's a luxury that I would never foresee myself having.
Okay.
But cars here are on the different end of the spectrum where they are actually affordable. Some might even say cheap, depending on what you buy. So because it is financially attainable, I found myself diving into a very specific car model that I really, really like.
Which is your... Well, what was that you have?
It's Suzuki Jimny.
Wow, okay. The baby G-Wagon, right? They call it.
Ish. No, don't bring Mercedes into this. Jimny is Jimny, okay?
Jimny. Okay,
no comparison.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's your Rolls Royce, basically your Rolls Royce.
Stop bringing other brands into this.
So sorry, they cannot take the Singaporean out from this guy.
So I found love in this, and I started to build my own community of car lovers who all love that particular car model. And there is a whole array of different ethnicities and cultures but we all share the same love for that one thing. So it was really very nice to hang out with all of them. To summarize, the changes and growth within myself in the last 1.5 years has been for the positive.
Okay, that's good.
I don't regret coming here at all.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. What about you?
For
Yours
me,
is 8 years.
And anyway, 8 years is also not a very, very long time now. But if you really ask me, I would think the biggest change that I had occurred in the past 4 years. I think the biggest thing that I could say is I became a lot more humble. And humble meaning that, things don't come easy. Things are not given to you automatically, because when we talk about change, we always reference it to something else, which is my life back in Singapore,
Right.
Yeah. So, and again, I was a very proud person back home. I never had to be humble. Maybe because I was put in a position at work, very direct communication channels with the people who make decisions.
Yeah.
So it sort of gave me the sense that, like I am someone that has authority and all that. So with me being very young and given that sort of opportunity / authority kind of a thing, it made me a very, very proud person. Like I was number one. But moving here, I found that the things that I have now, thankfully, the skills that I've amassed, the way of doing things, is I can dare say that I taught all this to myself. So it was all myself that brought me to where I am for the past 8 years in New Zealand. So what has changed was that I became humble, and I knew that I shouldn't be expecting that things would be done for me or things would be given to me.
Or you are entitled to certain things.
Yes, I'm entitled to certain things. So I think that's also a positive thing. And the other one is I became a lot more worried, because being here, we are away from the safety net of our own, family, our circle of friends. You almost lose a support It made me worried because it's like I'm now left to fend for myself. Whatever I do has a direct bearing on what's going to happen. So it makes me a bit apprehensive when it comes to making big decisions like changing jobs or even if big decisions are. So it made me a bit more worried because I now have a lot more things to think about
and consider.
Yeah, because it's not just wakaki lang,
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Any
move you make doesn't just affect you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is probably one of the these two I would say probably the important things that not important, the big changes that I see in myself. Yeah, I was one arrogant mofo back home in Singapore, man. I was, but like, here now it's different.
Like on what you just said, right? On being arrogant and how learning to not be entitled to certain things. This is just an extra side thing that I want to say. For any Singaporeans listening to this podcast, right, or to this episode, get it out of your head that you think you can secure a job here first while you're still in Singapore without coming here. Am I phrasing it correct? I don't think I am doing a very good job at it. But a lot of Singaporeans think that who are considering moving to countries like New Zealand or Australia, the typical Singaporean mindset will be like, oh, I'm going to send in my resume from Singapore, hopefully get a Skype call with them, and hopefully secure a job. Then I will think of moving. It doesn't happen like that. There are people who get it. Those are like 1%ers.
Very, very rare. Yeah, very
rare. Don't think, okay, this is going to sound really, really mean, but don't think you are that good. Myself included, I feel that if you truly want to move out of Singapore, if you want to migrate to a different country, you need to take that leap of faith and trust yourself, put faith in yourself, invest in yourself, and actually come here, then start looking for a job. Because if you genuinely think that you can secure a job without actually having your feet here on the soil, you can keep trying.
Correct. So sometimes when I'm free, I will ask myself this question. In Hokkien, we will say, 唔知是講還是真勇. It means I don't know if I'm crazy or I'm very brave to make this move to come to New Zealand without a job. Foolishness aside, there's always a reason why you want to come here, right? There's a lot of reasons why you want to make the move out of Singapore. So that one aside, I do think that for immigrants like you and me and a lot of those out there, the simple fact that you choose to become an immigrant, it takes a shit ton of guts to do that. It takes a lot of bravado to do that. Foolish or not, different thing. But it takes a lot to sacrifice.
Yeah.
If we come here to study, maybe when we are just finished army, 18, 19 or 20, we come on to study, we don't have a lot of commitments, right? So there's a lot lesser for you to sacrifice to come here. So when you start to talk about sacrifices and all that, it means like you say, take the leap of faith. Like you just have to believe in something, in whatever, and that thing is bravery.
To close out this podcast, I do want to ask, right? Do you regret moving here?
I used to.
What changed?
The move was made because of my wife. Like we said, I said earlier, there are some things she wants to get away from. That's actually a part of the reason. The other reason is Singapore's education system is renowned, to be bloody pressure cooker.
Okay.
I mean, honestly speaking, if we didn't have the education in Singapore, it would have made our move here a lot harder.
Of course.
Right? So I'm gonna give credit when it's due. But hearing stories of my friends' children and my wife's friends' children and the sort of competition that the kids themselves are going through, and then the competition and the pressures from it that is sort of seeping into the parents' realm.
Yeah.
Like why gina ko kui hun, that kind of thing. Keeping up the Joneses and all that lah. So that was the other reason why we wanted to come here, because we think that education does not need to be that full on. So I just wanted to, we can give our kids the opportunity to be a kid, to be a child, to be children, to have fun. Then that's why we sort of made the move as well to come to New Zealand. My biggest regret is when I started to compare what I had in Singapore and what I do not have here. So this regret changed when I realized what has changed in me when I came here. I sort of I let go of a lot of negative traits of myself over the past 8 years because I had to. Imagine if I was still the arrogant prick I was, I probably wouldn't last here for more than 2 years,
I can very confidently, without hesitation, tell you that I have no regrets.
Wow, okay. And what is it that you are so confident in saying that, without hesitation?
Because I will never forget the kind of life I led in Singapore when I was running my own business.
Okay.
Money was good, everything was good, but the bad outweighed the good.
How so?
I just generally wasn't happy. Not a lot of things made me happy. So in like the few things that do make me happy, I didn't have the time for them. But over here, I had time to develop hobbies. I had time to even do something as simple as just sit down and play games. I didn't have that kind of time in Singapore. I had a PS4. I had games that I've never touched.
Okay.
Right now, I have a PS5. I still have games that I haven't touched, but at least I have the time to sit down and decide to play if I want to. Just that sometimes I choose not to. I choose to just maybe lie in bed and use my phone. But it's the time I have for myself that I never had in Singapore, and that's one of the reasons why I don't regret it. The other one is seeing my partner happy here as well. Is also a huge factor. Seeing our dogs happy here as well is also a huge factor. So seeing the people that I love having a good time here is what contributes to me not feeling any regret whatsoever.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, ultimately, nothing brings you more joy when the things you love are happy, right? So for me, that's also the case where I can see like my wife is a lot more relaxed. The children are happy, and when they're happy, naturally they're healthy. So when they're healthy, so I don't have that much of a tao tia, So naturally, when you move countries, there will always be good things. There will also be bad things. But really, how good or how bad, it depends on your perspective of things when you're on different sides of the fence. So what I'm saying is, for us, maybe we could say we are almost semi success stories because we're happy here. Right now.
We chose to be.
Yeah. But there are also people, they go on to the other direction when they move countries. Moving countries, I feel, it takes a lot of guts because you don't know which way you'll go. It will be good, it will be bad. But I think that the reason why you move should be valid. Like why do you want to move in the first place would have to be. It cannot be something where you go, oh, I feel like going, so I will go. It doesn't work like that. Having gone through the move rather recently yourself, would you recommend someone if someone were to ask you, should I come here?
The nuanced answer would be, yeah, you should try it. The very fact that you're having a thought like that means you're already entertaining the idea. It means somewhere in your brain you have already low-key decided you just needed validation. You just needed validation. You just needed to hear from someone who has done it to kind of assure you that everything is okay.
That's true.
So just do it. If you already have thoughts like that, just do it. In all fairness, I think most Singaporeans should try living abroad and most Kiwis should try living in Singapore.
Okay, that's interesting. So you would tell, so your advice to these people contemplating a move is just do it.
Just do it. You won't know how it's like until you try. You can always sit there and daydream, but you won't know until you actually do it.
Yeah, actually I agree. Because I've been asked a question. What do you think our life would have been if we didn't move here? If we continued living in Singapore? So my answer is, I don't know, and I'll never know. Huh?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, there is there is a million reasons to not do something, but you only need one to do it.
Wow. Good statement.
So my final question for the two of us, and now I guess for you, is after spending 8 years here, do you think you belong here in New Zealand?
What's your definition of belong?
Does it feel like home?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because home is where the family is. It's not really where the environment, where that location is. It doesn't really matter where it is. At least to me, So yes, I feel like I belong purely because of my family. So if my family wasn't here,
This will never feel like home.
yeah, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it brings back to my initial point where I said, I almost gone home to work, leaving the wife and kids here, which thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have never been at home anyway if I did that. So so when I'm in Singapore with my family and go home, that's home. So when I'm here, when I go out, then they ask me, hey, what are you going to be doing this weekend? I say, I'll be at home. Yeah, with whatever, So to me, yeah, I do feel a sense of belonging.
I think as a Singaporean, I am very privileged to be born in a country like Singapore, where, and despite a lot of Singaporeans still having complaints, but you cannot deny comparatively our government is doing very well. With our healthcare system, with our transport, with our CPF, whatever. Again, to be fair, there are complaints, but comparatively, we are doing very, very well for a small country that size. So I'm very privileged to be born in a country like that. But I also feel a sense of belonging here with my partner, with my dogs, because this is a place that we chose to be. So being born in a country like Singapore is a privilege, but being here is our choice. And if I choose to be here, to be my home, I'm not looking back anymore.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
So in New Zealand, New Zealand is also my home. Singapore also my home. It depends on where the wife and kids are lah.
Another question I have for you, right, is after living here for 8 years in your case, 1.5 years in my case, I'm sure we still have connection and ties and friends and family, whatever, back in Singapore. Do you often get any feedback or questions from family and friends that kind of, like, they kind of give you the feeling like, wow, you're so lucky, or y'all get to move to NZ, then you're living good life there, very relaxed, very chill. They don't understand that we have hardships here too. And even if we try and explain to them, they don't understand. Do you experience that?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yes. I mean, those people who are really close to me, those friends and family who are really close to me, they will not say this kind of things to me like, wow, you moved to NZ, wow, see a song, wow, the weather, macam aircon, very nice, work-life balance, you can just take off and go and take your kids and all that was very, very nice, or all this kind of life I also want. People who really know me, they wouldn't make this kind of statements.
Friends who are on the second or third degree, whatever prerequisite they have of how it's like to live abroad, is from their own very lack thereof experience and whatever they see on our social media. And of course, on our own social media, we are going to share things that bring us joy, because why do I want to post things that are negative and it might possibly affect you?
Yeah, exactly. That's why Facebook don't have a thumbs down picture, right? Only a thumbs up picture, right?
I think it does. No,
I don't think so.
It does? No? So why would I want to share any of my own personal troubles and burden you with them, number one? Number two, who cares about what bad shit I'm going through?
Yeah, that's true.
But that's also partly why this podcast that we are doing today exists, because we also want to dispel the notion of not everything here is sunshine and daisies. There are a lot of hard things that we do go through ourselves as well, that we don't shout about because there's nothing to shout about.
Yes.
Just starting from uprooting your entire life, closing down your business, leaving your job, leaving your friends, leaving your family, even on some levels, for people like me and my partner, our grandparents are still around. Who knows for how long more? Saying goodbye to that, not possibly being by their side when they eventually pass on is something that we all have to deal with.
Yeah.
It's something that Singaporeans who are still living in Singapore don't have to deal with, because like what you said, convenience is one of Singapore's best selling point, right? Touch wood, if someone you love is on their deathbed, literally half an hour away from leaving this mortal world, you call a Grab, you are there in 10 minutes. We don't have that luxury. So these are things that we have to give up, and that is before we even leave Singapore. Like, it's the considerations before we even leave Singapore. Once we are here, we do everything ourselves. Literally, when we move into our first place, there's one of like this swivel doors to our garden. It was broken. I had to fix it myself because calling for labor is too fucking expensive.
100%. Yeah.
In Singapore, you call for labor, how much only? It's not going to cost you more than $100. Because anything that goes beyond that, you are going to go and storm or
You post about it.
and complain. We don't have that kind of luxury here.
Yeah.
So these are things that we don't see. We need to now juggle between CPF and KiwiSaver.
Yeah.
Right, Singaporeans, all we care about CPF, right? Because that's what you are do. But we have to care about both now. So we have double the amount of admin and logistic work. So those are the things that I would say are different. Most Singaporeans don't see that we struggle with. It's a daily uphill battle.
But then, one could also argue, like, you go there for what? Also, nobody take a gun and point on your head and ask you to move.
Yeah, we choose to, but that's why we also don't complain.
Yeah, so that's why I think this podcast is really very good, because like 100% agree. What you said earlier, it's not all sunshines and daisies here. Sometimes daisies will grow well because there's shit on the floor, on the ground. So that's the thing. I mean, we are not trying to encourage people to come, or we are not trying to encourage people not to come through this, but it's just in the spirit of sharing.
But exactly that's why just now when you asked me, would I recommend Singaporeans who want to come here? Yes, come here and experience it for yourself. Then you will fully understand that it's not all smooth sailing. Of course, we enjoy the benefits of living abroad, like good weather, great hiking trails, small, actually tight-knit community of your fellow countrymen, that we have no hidden agendas against each other. We enjoy all that, but there are other things you don't see as well. So the only way to experience it is to do it yourself.
Probably, I also want to just add that this kind of decision, this kind of move, really have to be thought through. So for my case, I was on this. It just feels very surreal to me when my wife said that, let's go move to New Zealand. So I said, okay, let's go. Like I never really gave it much thought until when I'm here, then maybe it hit me a little bit harder. But I mean, that's all in the past now. But I mean, I'm also glad that I gone through this, because it helped me find myself a little bit more. I would say, if you can and you really thought about it, be it a push factor or a pull factor, if someone wants to come here and they have really thought about it, I would agree with you. Just do it.
I guess my final words on this particular thought process is not just to any Singaporeans who are living abroad, right? To any immigrants living abroad, the bad experiences that you go through might be a good thing, because they are what define who you are today. You are definitely more resilient than your typical person still living in the country.
Yeah, 100%. It gives you a chance to be vulnerable, and yet you don't have to feel bad about being vulnerable, because that's what we are. We're human beings, right? Yeah, that's what I thought that this whole journey has taught me. Ask me to do it again, yeah, I would. But move to another country from now, I was in bo lat ko bo lui bo sim ching